move on to the next question. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you.
Live, but it didn't
Can you say in one sentence or less what? You know what I mean. Can you say why?
Hi.
Let's move on to the next question. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what? You know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.
Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing. You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you. What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose.
If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom?
Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain,
Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl,
Just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day,
there's some things you should know, and one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite? Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
Enough?
Morning, everybody. That was quite a clip there, Michelle, on our Saturday morning. I'm Julie Roginsky here with Michelle Kinney and Lauren Switterman. Hi, everybody. I have to apologize again. I'm in an echoey office that I'm trying to set up, so I'm sorry for the sound effects. Michelle, you've played that clip before, I think, or at least to me you have.
I have not. I've not on this show or any of our shows, I don't believe.
Really?
No.
Okay, I feel like I've seen that clip I thought it was you, but anyway, I've seen that clip fairly recently in the last year or so. And it holds true. And what's interesting about that is that was done during the Bush years or the Obama years.
In the bottom corner, I put the air date. It was June 24th, 2012.
Okay.
Was the day that aired. Yeah.
It was the Obama years, which is interesting because, of course, we had a Democratic president in the White House back then, but things still kind of sucked. And I was thinking, and I don't want to talk about this, I'm going to dwell on this too much because it's Saturday and we want to be sane. But the last time, I just remember in the 90s, like the late 90s, in the midst of the Monica Lewinsky stuff, actually stopping and pausing. I was working for a member of Congress and saying, actually, things are pretty good. Like, we're not at war. The economy's going gangbusters. Things seem to be progressing in the right direction. It was after they passed the Defense of Marriage Act, so things were obviously not progressing in the right direction. But generally speaking, it was still like things were kind of on an upward trajectory. And I don't feel that way anymore at all.
Yeah, it's definitely taken a tumble. And I think that's why, coming up on this weekend, right? So tomorrow is Flag Day. Tomorrow is Donald Trump's birthday. Tomorrow is the half-naked cage fight man beating that's going to happen on the lawn of the White House in celebration of this country's 250th anniversary. And I was thinking about, what I wanted to play for the cold open today. And I was like, oh, do I play something about basketball? Do I play something about the World Cup or anything? And I'm just like, you know what? People seem pretty, I don't know, like disheartened. How do you turn the 250th anniversary of this country, the World Cup, and all the other like stuff that should bring jubilee to all of us? Like, how do you make all of these things and the Knicks? How do you make all these things depressing? And he has this, he has this ability, right? And luckily it's supposed to thunder and lightning tomorrow. God bless. And it made me think even, last night I stayed up, and I know Lawrence, I think you may have as well, like watching them take the letters on the Kennedy Center down, and like the joy from the people that were standing around for hours waiting for this to happen.
Right.
Jim Acosta was there all night as well to report on this. And, when they put the letters up, they just did them in cherry pickers, right? They went up and down, up and down. But for this, they were building like all the scaffolding, and I was like, what are they doing? And then to find out this morning when I woke up, they had put like a tarp around it so that people couldn't watch, because they didn't want people to celebrate this. And it's just, and when I thought, I was like, I'm going to play this clip because I think it's so cathartic, because I think it touches on both things, right? It touches on the anger that we're having, like to Julie's point, that like we were on this upward trajectory and we're just not anymore. But at the same time, reminds us of the great things that this country has been able to do, the great things that we've been able to accomplish and create. And those are the things that this is why we fight, right? This is why we wake up every day. And this is why we need Saturdays for Sanity, to give us a breather,
can I say first, like, Aaron Sorkin, make me cry, daddy. Like, oh my God, never has there been a better writer of the ideals of the American experiment than he.
Yeah.
And also, like, I'm old enough to remember 1976, right? Like, I remember being a 6-year-old child and thinking, wow, I might be alive when the 250th rolls around, right? And imagining, like, if we're this excited for the 200th, what is it? And here we are, Poor young 6-year-old Lawrence. I'm sorry to tell you, it fucking sucks because there's an absolute idiot in charge.
When you were 6, did people call you Larry?
Oh my God. Yes, you have no idea.
And was it so annoying? Did you always want to go by Lawrence, or were you like?
It wasn't until I got to college. When I got to college, professors started calling me Lawrence, and I corrected them a couple times, and I was like, no, wait a minute, actually, this is legit. I like this. I like this feeling.
I like Lawrence. I like the name Lawrence. Yeah.
Thank you. I do
yeah.
too. My mom still insists on calling me Larry. She insists that she gave me the name Lawrence so that she could call me Larry. And I was like, sure. And you recognize that I'm an entire human who has free will, right?
I always feel like we should, it's kind of unfair that we're saddled with these names that other people gave us, right? Like, that's not necessarily, like, it's interesting. I am really Julia. Well, I'm really Yulia.
Julia Gulia.
Julia Gulia. I'm really Yulia because there's no J in the Russian language. But then when we came here, it got translated to Julia, and I went by Julia until like the 7th grade when I realized I thought to myself, oh, that's an old lady name. So I just wanted to be known as Julie. And so I insisted when we moved from New York to New Jersey, it was in the middle of 7th grade. So it was like a nice time to reinvent myself.
Yeah.
So I started going by Julie, and I'm so sorry. I so wish that I went by Julia. I think Julia is a great name. I'm not really a fan of Julie. So I wish I could go back to being Julia Gulia, but.
Why can't you? I mean, like, make it so. Let's declare it here on Saturday.
Like the brand is faith, right? Like, I'm Julie Roginsky. Like, there's no two ways about it. Same reason I wouldn't change my last name when I got married. Like,
yeah,
I am who I am, right?
The thing for women is we have 2 options for last names: our fathers or our husbands.
Although, interesting fact, my last name is not my father's last name.
It's not?
Well, it is in the sense that my father changed his last name, but when
I see.
My parents got married in the very anti-Semitic Soviet Union, my father's last name was Rabinovich, which was like the most Jewish, like you might as well put like a Star of David on his forehead.
Oh, wow, really?
And yes, and my mother said, "I'm not raising my daughter with that last name in this country." It is
God.
It was not. I'm like, whatever. So he changed it to his mother's last name, which is Roginsky. So I was the last Roginsky, except my son now has my last name. So he's so the Roginsky,
isn't it funny? Like,
his name lives on through the matrilineal line, which I think is kind of
I like, that's one of the things about this country that it's not so bueno, is that there's been so much anti-Semitism and racism and xenophobia that so many people that have come to this country have changed their name. And I think about, I hope she doesn't mind just saying her name, but one of my best friends, her name is Jessica Diaz. And she didn't grow up with her dad. She doesn't know her dad. And her mom is a cop, and she was raised in rural Maryland. But when we were graduating from our acting school and moving to New York and like had to put together our headshots and resumes and like, what kind of look do you want to be? And like, this was 2004. So, I mean, like, not so long ago, but long enough ago that they were like, you should change your last name.
This is like after Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Alba and all these other like Latina actresses were
especially when she moved from New York to LA. They're like, yeah. They're like, they're going to pigeonhole you as a Latina. So you should change your last name. So she went by a different last name for a while as an actor. I'm like, that's crazy.
Well, but understandable, right? Like if that's the advice. I mean, this happened all the time in Hollywood back in the
back then, but
30s,
it's like
yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's realized. I mean, Joan Crawford's not Joan Crawford. She was like, Willie Mae or something. I forgot her name, but like,
right.
Laura Bacall had she's Jewish. I forgot her real name.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Mariska Hargitay's mom was
Jane Mansfield.
Jane Mansfield. Right.
But I'm not sure that's her real name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I'm actually very happy that my son has my last name, because talk about a last name that was going to die out. Because as I said, the matrilineal line, and then I got it from my grandmother, and he got it from me, and his kids will probably have it from him, hopefully. So my son graduated middle school yesterday, guys.
I'm so
Congratulations.
happy for
And he
him.
was chosen to give a speech, which was so nice. He and
How did he
another boy.
do?
He was good. He was good. He had, in typical Julie son fashion, has zero executive functioning skills, so did not bother, reading it or practicing it or looking at it until he got up there and, read it well. I was actually not pleasantly surprised, but they do a good job of teaching these kids how to speak publicly. So he did a good job. And it was very sweet. It was very nice. I remember my 8th grade graduation, which my parents didn't come to because they had to work. They couldn't get the day off. So it was very, very nice.
That's a very Gen X experience, I think, right? Like,
oh my God.
like
My parents didn't come to any. I think about, I was a really competitive, you guys can make fun of me for this. I was a really competitive fencer in school.
I'm obsessed with this.
I honestly,
Lawrence,
it's my new favorite thing.
Lawrence, have you heard, I can't remember if you told the story here or not, Julie, about how you had to go to Canada to go do a fencing thing? And
I did. My parents had to go to Canada. Yes. So my parents.
I have not heard any of this.
So yes, I was a fencer. I'll tell you the Canada story that I probably shouldn't be saying. Hopefully my parents are not watching. But before this, so I was a pretty competitive fencer, and my parents never came to anything. I had to get rides to my coach's house, and my coach would drive us in this big white van. Places my parents could not be, this was on a weekend, they could not be bothered to go. It wasn't even that they couldn't be bothered. It never would occur to them to drive me anywhere. Meanwhile, I'm about to get in the car. We're going to have to cut this short today because I'm about to get in the car to drive my son 80 miles or 50 miles down to squash camp at a university in central New Jersey. So I guess it's not hard to figure out which university that would be.
I mean, there are a few of them.
There are a few. But so yeah, it's crazy the lengths that we go to for our kids now and the lengths our parents did not go to. The funny thing about my parents going to Canada was it was Memorial Day weekend, my senior year, and my boyfriend and I had big plans that weekend for things to happen for the first time at my house. And my parents were driving up. I didn't know this, obviously. Driving up to, I think it was Montreal, and they're in my parents always had Hondas. My parents' little Honda Civic, and they're driving, and they get to the border, and the border guard hears my father's accent.
Oh, right.
Oh no.
And says, "Sir, where are you from?" My father says, "I'm American," but my father has this very Russian, you know how when you hear Russians speak, they always sound angry and pissed off, even though they're not.
Yeah.
Typically my father is angry and pissed off, and he's Russian. So it's magnified by 10,000 because I could just picture my father being annoyed that they would even dare to ask him what he was doing in Canada. So these Canadian guards, border guards, people from Canada, I love you guys. You almost ruined my big experience there. This is pre-cell phones too, so I don't know what's going on.
Right, of course.
So they asked my dad, they say to my father, "Sir, do you have any weapons?" And my father's like, "What?" He gets all offended. They don't even ask him, which I think is a typical question. He's like, "Weapons? Why would you ask me that kind of question? Of course I don't have weapons." And he gets all aggressive with them because God forbid he actually is polite to, people who are doing their jobs. And they go, "Sir, can you please pop the trunk?" So he pops the trunk. And he did not realize that my fencing foil was in the trunk because I guess I kept it from. I shared that car with them, so I would take it. By that point, I was driving, so I would take it to fencing meets. And they take this foil out, and they're like, "This is a weapon. You are banned from entering Canada." After they drove, Montreal is not close to New Jersey.
No, it's far.
Really far. So I think they drove 9 hours. And my father gets all pissed off. And he's like, "What do you mean I can't enter Canada?" And they're like, "Sir, if you're going to be aggressive, you can't even get out," basically.
Yeah, you're making it worse, essentially.
Right. You're not being arrested right now for trying to bring a weapon into Canada. And so they get back in their car, and they're about to start driving back home. I did not know this, but the timing of this would have been really unfortunate, if they had shown up when they should have. Luckily, in typical Russian fashion, rules don't apply. I think they drove maybe 50 miles to some other border crossing and then just crossed there. But
wow. So they did get in.
They did get in, but my fencing pole was confiscated, which is too bad. It was my lucky fencing pole.
Oh no.
Yes.
But also like emblematic of the times, right? Like you couldn't just drive 50 miles to the next border crossing and get in now. Like that would be in the electronic record. They'd flag your car immediately.
Listen, I had a friend who got a DUI in California, I want to say maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He started dating a Canadian guy and wanted to go meet the family maybe 2 years after he got the DUI. They wouldn't allow him in the country because he had a criminal record.
Oh,
Canada's really strict about this stuff.
Yeah. My second husband, my second ex-husband.
Wait, we got to back up on the number of ex-husbands in a minute, but finish the story. Go ahead.
He had a DUI. He had two actually, and literally like the kind of theme, one of the themes of our relationship was like we couldn't ever go to Canada. We lived in Seattle. We couldn't go to Whistler. We couldn't go to Gay Ski Week. We couldn't go to Vancouver. We just couldn't go to Canada because he could not get in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, we got to talk about the ex-husbands, Lawrence. How many?
Yeah.
Total?
2 husbands, 2 exes. So I'm 0 for 2, and my joke is I'm trying to match Elizabeth Taylor. So I've got 5 more to go to match, 6 more to exceed.
You gotta marry one of them more than once.
That's true. Although
you need
probably not the 2 so far.
Let me ask you this: are you open to getting married again?
I don't think so. Honestly, after having been married twice, I got married in 2015 for the first time, and it was to a guy in retrospect that like it just should have never been on the table. Like that should not have been a path. And I don't want to say like we did it because we could, but that was the year of marriage equality. Yeah. And so there was an element of, look what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I my glasses so
I would have done the same. I feel like I would have done the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know if I want to get married again. I'm not sure that I'm the marrying type anymore. I really thought that I was. Like I kind of wanted the whole Disney fantasy, right? Like meet my Prince Charming, get married, house, white picket fence, golden retriever, somehow adopt 2 children. I am not sure that I want any of that anymore.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like I kind of did it backwards. Like I had my son and then I got married to somebody who had nothing to do with my having my son, years later. So my attitude is like, if you want to have kids, just go have them.
Yeah.
And it's harder for gay men or men generally because you need a surrogate and that's really expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so is the egg. That's really expensive, but it's doable if you really want one.
At the age of 56, I'm not sure that that's in the cards for me. Like if somehow the universe conspired to, bring a legal situation to me, I wouldn't say no, but I'm not sure that I'm going to plan my life around trying to do that now. It requires a level of commitment and I think a level of financial security that I'm not sure that I can. I mean, I can't provide that for myself at the moment, much as a kid.
Right. Yeah.
My kids are effing expensive. They just are.
There's this great line from Eat, Pray, Love that I think about all the time. Viola Davis says it in the beginning of the film. Maybe it's in the book too. And she said, having a baby or having a child is like getting a tattoo on your face. You better make sure you're committed. And I always think about that. It's like getting a tattoo on your face. You better want it. You know what I mean? Because there's really no going back.
Right. Come on, Jelly Roll.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But I always wonder too, like if something were to happen to Joe or something, I was like, man, I would never again. Never.
Oh, I would never. If something happened to me, I would never get it. He always thinks I'm going to have a second act after he's gone because he's older than I am. So he's like, you're going to have a whole second act. I'm like, what second act are you talking about? I'm like, I am lucky that I had a first act.
Yeah.
And I hit the jackpot and I don't know how that happens because honestly, we were talking about this in our chat yesterday. I don't know. And I'd love to hear from people in the chat about this. Like, I don't know what the secret formula is. Like I have friends who are always coupled up. Like I had this one friend who always had a boyfriend, and they're
My
always
sister was like that. Yeah.
Who is it? Your sister?
My sister
Yeah.
was like that. She's
Yeah.
never been alone. Never.
Yeah, she's never been alone. And these are like quality guys. They're not even like, you know, whatever. Like she's always been able to like have boyfriends, never been alone. And first of all, I think that's really unhealthy. But second, I'm always like, what is the secret? My other friend, Audrey, and I would talk about this all the time because we were single when this was all happening. And we're like, what is the secret sauce here that we're missing? Like, what is it? And I don't know. Like, I got lucky. I don't know. Like, I wish I could give people advice to be like, this is how you end up happily married. I have no clue how that happened. Like, it's a total, like once in a billion chance thing. And then we talk about online dating, which thank God I never had to do because I missed that era. I didn't miss it, but I was on TV, so I couldn't do it. But like, it's all these, like we talked about this with Dana, like it's all these freaks.
Yeah,
totally.
And
who say weird shit.
Who would say weird shit. And meanwhile, all my friends who are online just want to meet somebody nice and get married.
Right.
So why don't, like, why are all the people in our real lives the ones that want to get married and meet nice people and do the right thing? And then the freaks are out and about.
You know, and in Gaylandia, like it's even gone sort of further where the dating apps now there's all these map-based hookup apps like Sniffies.
Oh, like Grindr?
Well, no. Well, Grindr has added a map feature because they had to. Same with Scruff. But Sniffies came out and sort of destroyed the landscape. And it's literally like a map of where you are and all the people around you and who's the top and who's the bottom. And it's like, oh, you're 3.2 miles away and you're top. Great. Come over here in 10 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard of that one. I mean, that's crazy.
You're welcome, straight friends. I'm giving you a peek inside the exciting lives of the gays.
Right. And it's, I mean, you know, to your point, Julie, like had I not met my husband, like I'd still be single. Like I know that I would be. Like I
would be too.
Everybody is terrible. Like everyone is terrible. And
I think it's luck. Honestly, Julie, you said you were lucky, right? And I do think there's an element of luck involved.
Timing. It's timing.
Right.
You could be the most, like we talked about this with Dana yesterday. You could be the best match on earth for somebody, but if they're not there mentally and you are, something's going on in their life and where something's going on in your life, it does not work out. Like I don't think go ahead. Yeah.
I met a really nice guy a couple weekends ago, right? His husband passed away less than a year ago, and we had a coffee date, you know, because Dana and I always, you know, things in our lives rhyme often. You know, she's having a similar-ish experience, which she writes about. I'm not telling secrets. Like you can go read her stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I like super nice guy, right? And we kind of had a second date, and it was just sort of like, oh, you're thinking about your late husband this entire time. Like I can tell you're not actually here with me. This is what you're doing.
Yeah, you're trying to move on, and I'm trying to find something. And like,
right,
right.
So you're right. It's timing, right? Like a potentially great match, just not the right time.
Totally.
It's like the Sex and the City thing. It's like when the light on your cab goes on. It's like you have to make sure that when your light goes on, somebody else's light is on at the same time. And you know, and when I met Joe, you know, I was in a terrible situation. Like I had just gotten out of this relationship where this guy was just awful and was like had alcoholism problems, and he was a liar and was cheating on me with his therapist or whatever. It's just like a whole thing. It's a long, but it was bad. And just like I was, and luckily, like I ran into Joe like 2 years later, you know what I mean? And it was like, then the timing was better. Then I was like, not a disaster. And, you know, he had different stuff going on in his life. And for that reason, I'm sitting here today, like talking to you guys in that apartment that I share with him. And it's, again, like, it's just, you know, it's timing. It's really just time. And also being open to it.
It's being open, but I'll tell you something. I think being alone is fine. I mean, I had no problem being alone. Like pre-kid, my husband, when you sit on the couch and watch 5 hours of Law and Order because you feel like it and nobody can stop you, like that's cool.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
A lot of my single friends in their 40s are like, I'm good.
yeah,
Honestly, that's part of my. I'm not sure I would get married again because unless it was, we maintain separate households,
Right.
because there's something about like I'm super drawn to extroverts. Like I love a nice shiny extrovert, right? But living with an extrovert as a weird introvert ambivert person, it's hard to explain to somebody like, no, I really just need to sit alone and read a book for a couple of hours and not have you with me.
Let's just sit in the silence. It's great.
Yes. The one thing that I love about my husband is on weekends, right now I'm in New York, but typically we go out to Pennsylvania on weekends. He will sit there and read his World War II biographies, which Michelle screwed me on.
Sorry.
Time when she was here a couple of days ago. Because my husband doesn't. Okay, this is what my life consists of. Ready? Whenever anybody's like, have you gone to a movie recently? Have you seen a movie recently? Michelle's like, you should watch Hacks. I'm like, I'd love to watch Hacks. I'd love to watch anything on TV. However, I am relegated to watching football during football season, hockey, which is basically all year round except for the summer, baseball if nothing else is on, and then barring all of that, toggling, not me, but my husband toggling back between MSNBC and CNN. Or if it's a crazy Saturday night, the 27,000th version of whatever World War II Netflix 27-part series is there. Or he will sit there during the day, as I was saying, the nice thing about him and my relationship is he will sit in his chair. Like do you know people actually read in chairs? Like actually sit in a chair and read? My husband sits in a chair and reads. I've never met anybody like this. Like he will actually sit there in a chair and read like this, as opposed to like flopping on a
I do that.
You do? You just literally sit in a chair and read? Like you don't like lie down on a couch or like in bed or something?
I mean, I guess I can do it all those ways. Like sitting in a chair and reading is not a weird thing to me, but
Okay,
also,
well,
I could lay down on a couch and read.
Maybe that's a guy thing. He will never lie down on a couch. He'll sit in his chair and he'll read his 20,000th version biography of like the rise and fall of the Third Reich, but not that one because he's read that one 20 times, like some other.
The companion, the BBC docuseries on that. I don't know if you've seen it. It's very good. Anyways, keep going.
Then Michelle, after I complain about this nonstop, comes over the other day and she goes, hey, there's this great new Netflix 27,000
No, CNN. It's on CNN. Yeah.
About World War II. And I said, Michelle, do not tell this to my husband. Do not.
It's really good though.
Do not say a word. When he comes home, because she was here before he came home, I said, do not say a word because I cannot take any more World War II documentaries. My husband comes home as typical. He gets Michelle drunk. And then what does Michelle do? What does Cindy Brady do? Because
Spills it.
Hey, you know what's really good? I'm like, don't do it, Michelle. Don't do it. And she's like, I gotta do it. I gotta get this off my chest. And she does it. Michelle screwed me. All right, continue.
Well, sorry. I just want to say really quick, in my defense, it's Tom Hanks. It's a Tom Hanks World War II docuseries.
They're all Tom Hanks World War II documentaries. That's all he does these days.
Well, because who else is good? I mean, he's like the guy who's using his platform and his fame in order to continue to tell these stories that need to be told. Because this is what we talk about, right? Storytelling is very important to learn from history, and it's like 20 parts or something. And I actually went and bought the whole thing on Apple so that I wouldn't have to watch the commercials anymore because it was driving me nuts. It is worth it to me to do that. But it's really good, and it's really very well done in the way that it's like doesn't really leave it a lot out, but also explains things that are very it's easy to understand. It's not too lofty.
Right.
Ships, maybe.
No, I want to rephrase that. Snitches get stitches, Michelle. That's what you are.
Snitch. I just wanted to share the wealth.
Okay.
But also, I mean, I think about Tom Hanks has been able to, like last Saturday for Sanity, we watched that opening, not of the battle scene, but the opening in the cemetery in Normandy from Saving Private Ryan, and Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks, I think were able to, for the first time, kind of open up this world to make World War II tangible for people and, you know, understand. And I think Steven Spielberg is such a incredible storyteller in such a way. And I know it's probably cliche to say this, but really he is one of my favorite, if not favorite filmmakers. And I am dying to see his new movie. And yeah, Lawrence,
What
I
a
know
good
you saw it.
segue.
Yeah.
Guess what I saw yesterday, y'all?
I know, please. I really actually want to.
It's gotten mixed reviews. So what do you think?
Well, first of all, Julie, I want to say maybe tell your husband the Allies win, right? Like maybe he just keeps reading because he, you know, spoiler alert.
I mean,
the good guys win.
Lawrence, I have had to Normandy, and then we had to go on a Nazi tour to like Munich and Berchtesgaden, like then we had to go to Hiroshima when we were in Japan, which, by the way, it's not we had to. These are all wonderful places, and I recommend everybody visit them if you have the means because they're fantastic. However, sometimes I'd like to just hang out on the couch and watch Law and Order SVU and not think about people getting blown up, you know.
Well,
or go to a new movie and go watch Disclosure Day, the new Steven Spielberg film, which is excellent. If you love Steven Spielberg at his storyteller best, you are going to love this film. It is really well done. The acting is superb. I mean, I love Emily Blunt to begin with, but she is phenom in this. And, you know, I won't say anything about the ending other than it caught me by surprise.
Interesting.
And my one teeny tiny critique is, and this is just me, there's a way of opening a story that I don't particularly love. It's not my favorite way to do it, which is that you meet the characters mid-flight, like they're in the middle of their crisis and doing their thing.
And then it's like 6 days prior or something.
It's literally called in media res, that part of storytelling.
Okay, yeah, I don't love that, right? And there wasn't really, Michelle, there wasn't really like a, you know, flashback to like 6 days prior. It was just you meet them in the middle of their crisis. And and like, do I like that we have to work for context in that moment? Yes. Just for me personally, it's not my favorite way to open a story.
Like, Ryan opens up that way. I mean, we all know
it's true. It's true. It definitely gives you a sense of immediacy. But the audience then does have to kind of work for a couple of minutes to figure out like, and who is this, right? And why do I care about you yet? You know, other than the camera's on you. But I'm honestly, that's like the tiniest complaint. It's 2.5 hours. It goes by in a flash because it is just a constant adrenaline, you know, edge of your seat. Like, are they going to make it? Does the thing happen? And then the thing happens, and it's magnificent.
Wow. Okay. And for everybody in the chat, in both chats, all the chats, freaking out, no one's going to give anything away. No one's telling any plot lines or storylines or spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone calm down.
I don't know anything.
Calm down.
Yeah. So everybody calm down. I will say this about Spielberg. Who else has the collection of not just incredible movies that he's made, but the diversity of the type of movies he's made? I mean, you go from Jaws to, you know, I guess that's a thriller, to Indiana Jones, and that's kind of a 1930s, you know, type of thing. But then you go to things like, I'm not going to go through all of it, but like Schindler's List, which is
right.
I mean,
to the Post, to
Private Ryan, to all.
You know what? Can I make an observation here that if you look at his oeuvre, right, like everything that he's ever done, this film is actually an amazing, not synopsis, not melange. It is a blend of all of those themes together. Right? Everything from Close Encounters of the Third Kind to Schindler's List.
Right.
E.T., by the way, like, why don't we? Nobody ever talks about E.T. anymore.
Oh my God! So this is clearly like he has created over the course of his career a trilogy, right, of sci-fi classics: Close Encounters, E.T., and now this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm sorry. Like, I was so excited about this film. I mean, if you don't know that the tagline for this film is, and I'm not spoiling anything because this is literally the marketing tagline, it is basically, if someone told you that aliens were real,
Mm-hmm.
how would you feel?
Hmm.
Right? Like that is the conceit, the driving motive of the entire film.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely like the third in his installment of, hey guys, we might not be alone in the universe. Here's the Wonder One, here's the childlike actual entity that you're meeting, and here's the big modern day, relates to everything that we are currently talking about in our politics right now thing.
And I'm reminded also of War of the Worlds, which I like didn't love. There was like just a lot of like 9/11 imagery that just like kind of upset me. I think it just maybe the time I saw it.
I mean, it was a 9/11 response, right? Like he talks about how that film was his 9/11 film.
Yeah, it was upsetting, but at the same time, I mean, like I just like, and I was an old friend of mine. I don't talk to her really anymore because she's so famous now. But was in his West Side Story. And she won an Oscar. And I remember
I think we could all figure out who that is, but okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Arnie DeBose, and I met her many years ago when I was working in North Carolina. She's from Raleigh, and I was doing a show. Anyways, doesn't matter. She's fantastic, and when I heard that she was playing Anita, I was like, oh, that's good casting. I like that because she's an incredible dancer, like phenomenal. I remember at first hearing that Steven Spielberg was going to do West Side Story, and I was like, I don't understand, because when Rob Marshall did Chicago, I was like, Rob Marshall's like a musical theater guy, like he's going to be able to cross the two worlds. It'll make sense, and he did it very brilliantly. But I was like, I don't know, he's not like a theater guy, but like it was beautiful, it was amazing. I mean, he did it, and he did it in such a way. I mean, like the lighting, the cinematography in West Side Story is like, it's so good. It's so good.
It is a beautiful, beautiful piece of film, West Side Story. And I will say one more thing that I don't think is revolutionary, but the motive force behind Steven Spielberg's storytelling is empathy, right?
Always.
Like it is,
always.
Yes.
Can you relate to the other?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have empathy? Do you kill the other, or do you embrace it even if it scares you? Like that's it.
What a great observation.
Yep.
What a great observation. And it is, you're absolutely right, because if he was going to set out, well, E.T. is the best example of that, I think. But if you're going to set out, which, by the way, again, nobody talks about anymore. My son has not seen it. He refuses to see it.
It's so good.
I know. It was the defining childhood movie.
It was amazing.
Of our time.
And also, just like, I just have to say also, the way that he tells stories with John Williams in the scores. Like
and you're going to love this one.
Oh my God. It's like everything they do together.
Lawrence,
was that?
Did John Williams write the score for this?
Yeah. John Williams is the composer for this one, and it's magnificent, right? Like it is one of those tonally perfect, scores to a movie that augments every moment perfectly and just becomes the movie, right? Like, and if I had to hum the theme right now, I'm not sure that I could, but I guarantee you it's going to be a piece of music that you'll be like, oh, right, that's the music from Disclosure Day.
John Williams understands that music is what feelings sound like. And so he's able to kind of like tap into that in the same way that he does with all the other films, with Saving Private Ryan, with Indiana Jones, with E.T. I mean, I mean, like, so good. And I urge everyone to go watch the documentary about John Williams and his life and his background. And like, it's amazing. I think it's on HBO, but it's like everything that the two of them do. And I have to just like, not humble brag here for a second, but I just want to like say it, having been obsessed with Steven Spielberg growing up and being obsessed with movies. Like when we did American Girl, I told you that I think that his people reached out to us, and I was like, but it makes sense. Like that's the kind of storytelling that he does. To your point, Lawrence, is like the empathy, like the human condition of it all. And so, like of anybody, I mean, it was amazing hearing from them, and I will never forget it for as long as I live. And, but
first of all, Michelle, that is, I mean, I mean,
That's incredible.
amazing. What I mean, what greater honor? No amount of Webbies.
I mean, like, this is why I'm like, I could die
Webbies
now.
are nice, and it's nice to be recognized by your community, but to be recognized for a piece of storytelling by Steven Spielberg,
Right.
Yeah, it just
like, there's no, I can't imagine who in the world would be like
I was like, I can die now.
like, it doesn't, like, Joe Biden saying nice things about it is not as incredible as that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
will also say, like, to your point, Lawrence, about empathy, and to your point about embracing the other, I think about Schindler's List, and he could have told any number of stories about the Holocaust,
Absolutely.
any number of stories about the Holocaust, but he told the story of a man. And if I'm giving away Schindler's List, friends, I'm sorry, but it's been 30 years.
Yeah, like you're about 30 something years behind. So,
Also, the end of Gone with the Wind, Red Butler leaves. I'm sorry I break that news to you.
Yeah.
But like, the beauty of Schindler's List is it is about taking a man who embraces the other. That's exactly what that's about. I've never thought about it in that way, Lawrence, until you just said so, but it's absolutely the case that his movies are.
Yep. Same with
all
E.T.
like that.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like,
I'm saying E.T., all of them. I mean, all of them. And not
Well,
all.
and here's my confession, right? Like, once you see Disclosure Day, you'll recognize that my observation is maybe not as massively insightful.
Okay, maybe. But the point is, I've never seen Disclosure Day, so I don't know. I just know that you're right, that is a strain that runs through all of his.
Right. I mean, I feel like, without giving anything away, like, the story of Disclosure Day is empathy.
Yeah.
Right? Do you react to the new and the strange with curiosity and empathy, or with fear and anger?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And
Especially in this moment that we're living in now, where we live. I mean,
honestly,
yeah.
Michelle, it's exactly that. Like, as I was watching the film, I was like, this is so timely. And if I just came out and said, like, oh, Spielberg's new Aliens movie is so unbelievably timely, you'd be like, how exactly?
Yeah. Right.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Like, it is absolutely of this moment.
Do we know who wrote who wrote it? Do we know? I'm gonna look up.
God, I can never remember the guy's name. It's his frequent collaborator. I think it's
David Kopp.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
That is who it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Story by Steven Spielberg, but then screenplay. So okay.
I mean, there's a part of me that truly, I think about that, and I think about the time that we're living in, when it's just all about not accepting the other. And I don't want to get very emotional here, because Michelle watched me cry the other day, but I keep thinking about Delaney Hall across the river here, where Michelle was. By the way, I had a meeting in New Jersey last week, and I had to go to the airport to pick up my little French cousin from Newark Airport, which is also in New Jersey. And there's traffic. It was during rush hour. So GPS took me a really weird way I'd never gone before. And it took me past the docks in Newark. And all of a sudden I'm by Delaney Hall. And the GPS would have taken me by Delaney Hall, except it was closed off because apparently you can no longer protest in front of Delaney Hall, thanks to New Jersey, which I don't like that, Mikey Cheryl. So they closed it off. But the point is, again, I was in this shithole part of Newark where Delaney Hall is. And I'm not suggesting they put a detention facility, in the middle of Times Square, but nevertheless, it's I think environmentally also very unhealthy to be there. But I think about that, and I think about the fact that just a few miles down the road from Delaney Hall is the Statue of Liberty. And what's written on the base of the Statue of Liberty. And as I'm redoing this wonderful office that Michelle built, the one piece of art that I want to put up here is just a picture of the Statue of Liberty with what's written on the crown, or on the base, excuse me, on it, because I think that's what kind of inspires everything that I think about. And what is just so sad to me about all of this is that that's what's lost, like that empathy that Steven Spielberg had in Schindler's List, and this new movie that you just watched, Lawrence, which I can't speak to. All of it is just missing in our civic life right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And to be brutalizing people down the street from where the Statue of Liberty is. I mean, there's a part of me that literally wants to, because there's a, Michelle, I don't know if you know this because you're not a New Jersey person, but if you go to Paulus Hook in Jersey City,
Yeah, I don't know.
which is truly right across, I mean, you're all but facing downtown Manhattan when you're there. You are this close. It's in the water, so you can't touch it, but you're this close to the Statue of Liberty. It's the back of the Statue of Liberty. And you just stand there and you can look at it, and it's a beautiful view, and people don't know about this, but should you ever find yourself in this area and you want a backdoor way of seeing the Statue of Liberty, please go to Paulus. I mean, you're right there. And Ellis Island is right there. I mean, so close you could touch it. We're not in the water. I mean, if we could walk on water, we'd walk there in 5 minutes. And then you go down the road and there's Delaney Hall. I mean, it's not right down the road, but you go a few miles up the highway and there's Delaney Road. And it's just, what happened? What happened to the country that produced E.T.?
Yep.
Right? Like, I'm not even talking about politics. What happened to that empathy where we as children, and these Gen X, I have to say, Gen X is what put Donald Trump over the top. It is our generation. It was our generation that did this. What happened to those 10, I think I was 10 years old when E.T. came out. You were probably 13. What happened to those kids that would go see E.T. in the movie theater at their most formative stage and sob their eyes out? I cried. No, I saw E.T. probably 10 times and I cried
every time.
Oh my God. And Drew Barrymore, like, oh my God.
What, like that whole, like, oh,
I know.
And I think this is answering the question that is posed in the cold open that Michelle showed us today. America was great, and we lost curiosity and empathy and kindness and a sense of adventure, and became mean and callous and incurious and, scornful of intelligence and curiosity. Yeah.
And, somebody in the chat, on Substack said computers killed it. And I wonder if that's true. I wonder if now, like, this drive for memes, this drive to be clever doesn't let us sit. I mean, E.T. is a long movie, right? It's not a 30-second Instagram reel. And you can't develop empathy in 30 seconds on Instagram. Like, I don't, when was the last time you cried an Instagram reel, right? Once in a million years, maybe. But I mean,
every now, usually animal videos.
Right. But there's no time to develop storylines. There's no time to really develop empathy. And everybody who says that Trump is Trump, I think Trump is the apotheosis of this. I don't think Trump is the cause of this.
Right.
Well, he just let the gremlins out. You know what I mean?
But
nicely done, Michelle.
Yeah.
And it's well, I just want to say, like, this is, again, like, not to be like ads, but like, this is where having the skill set, right, and this resources to be able to tell stories in that amount of time, like, not to bring it back to American Girl, but American Girl was 90 seconds.
Yep. Right. And you take us on a journey in those 90 seconds very clearly.
And with music and with imagery.
I was a part of something, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago at this point in Seattle called Seeds of Compassion, which was the Dalai Lama came over and gave this big speech in the stadium. And the whole point of his message, and, I worked on the website, right? I was a part of I got to meet the Dalai Lama. I did.
How was that?
Absolutely incredible. He's a very tiny person, and
really,
there is, and I have never seen a more clear example of, like, a soul level charisma in a person than that entity.
Wow.
Because he literally lit up the room when he walked in. Like, he walked in and you were like,
that's interesting, because he was a man who was chosen for it as a child, and not Pope who was charismatic because as an adult he was chosen for his charisma or whatever. Like,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's really something there.
Okay.
But it makes, so the whole reason that I was thinking about this is, so his whole premise of this speech that he gave is that the seeds of compassion is imagination. It's that you have to teach kids how to imagine and how to have imagination so that they can be empathetic. And then empathy breeds compassion. And
Yep.
so you can't have compassion unless you teach children how to imagine.
And
Yeah.
give
And
them the freedom to do it. And
Right.
that's without telling them you can't be this and you can't do this. And like I'll say even just going to acting school, which again, like I went to a conservatory program, like everybody there is like performers, actors, but something like when you get there, you kind of realize what society has done to you as a teenager because you're immediately watching yourself. You're immediately like scared to imagine, and you're scared to like break out of your shell, and you're afraid to do all of these things. And I remember, I will never forget one of my professors, who just passed away a couple years ago, actually. He said, he's like, you all were freer human beings in the sandbox than you are here at 18 years old.
Mm.
And I think about that all the time, is like how children who are given the freedom and the space to be imaginative with their little friends, and it's like the most important and informative play that anyone will ever have. And
Right.
it it forms human beings, you know what I mean? And so, but at some point as teenagers, and once we get out into the world and we're fed all of this marketing and we're fed all of this bullshit, and especially now where kids are like constantly fed this stuff insidiously, they become like this. The Gen Z kids, like they don't dance. Like this is the thing, right? When the Gen Z kids go out, they don't dance in the bars, they don't dance in the clubs, because they're so afraid, I guess, of being recorded or being watched or anything like. And
Sure.
it's so devastating to me to hear that, because I'm like, are we really we were the last ones to do this? Because there weren't iPhones when I was in my 20s for the most part. But yeah, I mean, it's having the freedom to do all of those things is so important, and makes empathetic people, Lawrence, to your point, like who care about others and can imagine yourself in someone else's shoes.
That's why theater kids are amazing. That's why theater was so accepting to the gay community well before anybody else was.
Mhm.
Because I think theater kids are always trying to be somebody else, because they are people who were potentially not the most popular in school or not the most whatever. And so
Totally.
therefore they can create their own reality in their own lives. And I love that. And I started out as a theater kid when I was little. I had a great voice. And then I smoked one too many cigarettes and my voice was gone, and I did not continue.
That's sad.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Bless
Speaking
you.
of sad, thank you. Speaking of sad, you guys can continue. I've got to go. I've got to go do what my son is not doing, which is pack his shit so he can go to squash camp.
It's like Kevin McAllister, like, pack my suitcase.
Right.
I mean, literally, I said yesterday, we got to leave by 11. So please pack your shit. Oh, I'll get up at 10:30. I do it. He literally texts me as I'm doing this. I'm going to go out for breakfast. I'm like, you're going to go out what? For where? What breakfast?
Right.
Venmo me some money so I can go out for breakfast. What the fuck?
Kids, man.
I gotta go and get him a line. So I gotta
Yeah.
run.
Well, I'm gonna go to the farmer's market and buy some tomatoes and pickles.
Ellie.
Very
Excellent.
excited.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lauren, love you so much. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's always a delight to see you too.
Yeah.
Dana, every Saturday. We love having you on the show so much. We love
It's the best. It's just the best.
It's the best. We love the show. Love you guys. Thank you for not giving away anything about Disclosure Day. Lawrence would not do that, friends, so don't freak out.
Right.
All right, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Slap some sense into.
All right. Okay.
Good luck.
Everyone, have
Yeah,
a great
good luck.
weekend. Go
everybody.
Nick.
Let's
Go
go,
Nick.
Nick.
Go
Knicks
Knicks.
and 5. Knicks and 5.
Next and 5.
And,
President's still
everyone-
alive. Next and
Yep.
5.
Exactly. All right, everybody. Have a good weekend. We'll see you
Bye.
later. Bye.